So, welcome everyone to today's session on Hey ChatGPT, how do I talk to you? First in our series. So, if you've ever opened ChatGPT and thought, hey, I'm not sure what to say to this thing, well, this session is for you. Our guest speaker will walk through how to think about ChatGPT differently and not just as a tool for shortcuts, but as a thought partner that helps you reflect, create, and make better decisions. So today you'll have the opportunity to learn how to ask better questions, get more helpful responses, and start using AI as part of your everyday workflow. We're going to start with that simple question. Hey, ChatGPT, how do I talk to you? So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speaker, Sammy Paley. Sammy is a discovery coach and an AI specialist, but more of a chief artificial intelligence officer in training is what he's called. He's the poster child for doesn't know what the heck he's doing, but does it anyway. And that's become his edge. As the creator of the Ideas Framework, identity, direction, expectation, authenticity in selves, Sammy blends storytelling, systems training, and soul work to help others think clearly, act boldly, and become the author of their own stories. With a background in content creation and a deep love for language, he uses AI as a mirror, not a crutch, to help people build lives that are authentically theirs. So if you want to connect with Sammy, his Linktree link is there, and we hope you do. So it's over to you, Sam.
Thank you so much. It always feels a little awkward when you get introduced, and I'm the one who wrote the blurb, and it's like, is that actually what I'm like? And I want this to be very clear. I think being put in the position of being an expert, I really am just someone who uses ChatGPT. I'm naturally very curious and very excited about all the AI use. I find there's quite a bit of pessimism around, is this the beginning of the end, and is our robots going to take over? And maybe it is, but from my perspective, from what I have used it for so far, it has been completely influential in my life. And so I do want you to jump in with questions. This isn't a formal thing where you need to sit there, hands between your knees. You know, if you're answering emails as we go through, that's fine. If you want to follow along and open your own chat GPT prompt, that's totally fine too. Does anyone want to share kind of their general knowledge? We did it beforehand, but just their general knowledge of how they use ChatGPT, what applications you use it for, and just kind of where everyone's at. So this can be as useful to you as it can be. And if you have one takeaway, all I want you to take away is that just talk to it as if it's an extension of yourself. There's not a cut and dry specific way to do it. It's more so just an extension of you. So how it'll work, as Laura had alluded to, is I have a framework I follow, I guess, a sort of life philosophy, and it's called IDEAS. And so it stands for identity, direction, execution, authenticity, and then the bonus one is selves. We won't get into that one, but basically who you are, the path that you're on, the steps that you take, and the authentic version of you. So if you follow all of those four things, then you kind of really explore on any topic. I'm someone who uses it for genuinely everything. I'm a massive golf fan, so I'll like have an 150-yard shot and I'll take a photo, put in the chat GPT, hey, what should I hit here? Their wind feels into my face, and I'm a nerd with it. I absolutely love it. So let's get into it. Hey chat GPT, how do I talk to you? So I don't know where everyone's at with chat GPT, but I would like to have chat GPT very much be, I think it's best to go back way back to the start, and you cannot over prompt it. In fact, the more that you give it, the better it'll be. I'm going to ask the question everyone asks. Can you see my screen? Let's. Can you guys can see my screen? Okay.
All good.
Okay. Hey, Chat GPT, how do I talk to you? Now I'm going to add a little bit more context here so that you can see how specific you want to be. So I'm going to pretend that I am an entity that has never been on Earth before and has no idea what the internet is. So I want you to teach me how to use Chat GPT as if I have never heard of the internet. Explain things to me as if I am a 5-year old who can learn quickly but knows nothing. And the power of ChatGPT, I'm going to get credit for work that I'm not doing. I'm just putting a little simple prompt and we'll see what it comes up with. But ChatGPT continually blows me away. This is the paid version. So there's a few things. But okay, so it already knows who I am because I use it for, as I said, literally everything. But let's go through it. So let's pretend you're 5 years old, smart as a whip, curious as a cat, just landed on an Earth, blah blah blah. What is ChatGPT? So imagine you have a super helpful talking library that lives inside a robot brain. That's me. I read a gazillion books, stories, and conversations, and now I can answer your questions, help you write stuff, and play imagination games with you. So you can see that, as I had said, all you do is just type. You can be very verbose, you can be all over the place. One of my favorite features, actually, to put things into perspective here. So imagine that I am in talking to you, but I have to type everything rather than speak. One of the biggest hacks, and it's not great on computers yet, but I find on the phone app, is to use speech to text and literally just for like 3 minutes, just tell ChatGPT who you are. And so to get kind of into the formula that I had here, so to follow the ideas framework, again, it's identity, direction, execution, authenticity. Uh, the first one is ChatGPT meets you exactly where you're at. And so if you don't like what your ChatGPT is saying to you, then maybe you don't really like how you're talking to it. And so all of the thoughts about, do I have to be clean with ChatGPT? I swear all the time with mine. I'm very egregious with it, and it feels like more of a bro than like an AI software that's kind of bland and very robotic. So let's get into. Does anyone have any sort of particular case studies they want to follow in the vein of like who we are right now and who do I want ChatGPT to be, or do you just kind of want me to see what I can come up with?
Just go for it, Sam. I mean, other than the fact that we're all entrepreneurs here.
Okay,
So
let's do entrepreneurs and we'll keep it in that vein. So, I am an entrepreneur who knows nothing about business. Can you help me make my first $1 million? Now, what I always like to do is talk about the highest leverage ways. Desmond and I had talked about this before, but provide me with the highest leverage roadmap for how I can succeed in this confusing world of the internet and AI. So again, the more context you have, the better. The more you authentically write, the better. So let's go, Sammy. You're a born builder who just woke up in the wild jungle of the internet with zero business knowledge but unlimited potential. You want your first million and don't want a hustle culture hamster wheel. You want leverage, intelligence, freedom. Here's your no BS high leverage roadmap. So ChatGPT, I find, gets very listicle very quickly. It always likes to go into stages. So kind of, as you can see, pick a niche, master one high leverage skill, build a minimum viable offer. So this is very good basic knowledge. But if I wanted to be more specific, I would say I am a multimedia documentarian who has a background in content creation, but also has an interest in the AI space. Find me a synthesized path forward so that I can make sense of what it is I'm doing. It continually blows me away what it comes up with all the time. I had a session yesterday where I was just fleshing out ideas a little bit more, and it like I would word vomit and not think I made any sense, and then it's like, yeah, you just said something really cool, and it would synthesize it all. So typing is a little bit slower, but I still think it's very, very cool. And again, to drive the same point home, like we want it to be very authentically oriented around your voice. It's clear as someone who uses a lot of ChatGPT that if people just prompt it basically like, hey, write me a blog post about 10 ways to scale up your business, it's going to be very basic and oriented. But if you have brand voice, if you have a website, if you have different uses, different voices you have, different articles you've written, what you can do is take that. Um, I mean, I could do it now, but basically, you could take the voice that you have, you could upload the PDF, and then you can drop the PDF into ChatGPT, and that will give you a good sense of what kind of voice that you want to have. Or you can emulate your voice off of other people. So uh, let's just for fun, let's just say I have a deep passion for Shakespearean language and would prefer that this next prompt be a 20th century Shakespearean prose, clear but in that language. And just like that, it changes it immediately into that type of voice. And so obviously you wouldn't want your, well, unless you have some medieval company or something, you wouldn't want your voice to be like this. But let's say you have, you know, your brand values, you know, your culture, you know, how you want to operate, you know, how your customers want to feel. Tell ChatGPT everything that you want it to be, and it will literally be a mirror for you. So it's not you versus ChatGPT, it's you, it's authentically representing you. And the more that you put you into it, the more it will represent you. Now, the caveat to that is we really don't want to. ChatGPT is your biggest cheerleader, and it can be your biggest cheerleader to a fault. In that you could give it a horrible business idea, and if you're like, I really believe in this, I think it's going to be fantastic. ChatGPT will be like, I love this idea, I think it's fantastic. Now, we really want to be careful about that, and which is why one of my favorite prompts is to. I'm just going to bring it back to regular language now, but please write in normal Canadian English and pinpoint any blind spots that my blind optimism cannot detect. Okay, so here you go. The path is clear, but here are the blind spots. So you're a system thinker without a business container. You're documenting beautiful, but to who? And so I really find that if you get it to play devil's advocate, not just even we're talking about ChatGPT, but even if you get into a mastermind group and everyone's kind of bouncing ideas off of each other, groupthink is very much a thing that it occurs. And in ChatGPT, it does it at a very high level. So you always want to be challenging how ChatGPT talks to you because otherwise it'll always just kind of blindly agree with you. And you can kind of call its bluff a few times. Like sometimes I like to challenge ChatGPT and kind of try to put it into a corner. And I've sometimes put information into ChatGPT and then it's just not right. And then I'll call it out and it'll be like, you're absolutely right. You said to have a real example. I put a hypothetical example, won't do it going forward. And the power of it is you need to talk to it a few times, but as you talk to it more and more and more, you can kind of start to have more of a relationship and more of a, it doesn't care if you're nice to it. It doesn't care what you say to it. It will literally just take whatever you prompt it and it will be able to synthesize it into much more clear thinking than any of us have the capacity for. Um, Now, let's just keep moving here with the presentation. So, what am I actually trying to figure out? So, let's just actually give you my current standing. So, I am a 25-year-old graduate student who has no money and just moved back in with my parents. How can I gain my own freedom and learn how to be an adult? Explain this to me if I have as if I am a 95-year-old reminiscing on my life. So I'm just trying to prompt it differently every time so you can see how you can kind of have variety in what you say. Um, but you can see already how it uses a nostalgic language here. And so what you could do is you could take this sort of thing, and this is more storytelling oriented, and you could be like, I like the substance of what we are saying, but I'd like to convert this into 25 Instagram reel ideas that are high impact and not just cheaply catered to the algorithm. It should feel like me on the other side of the camera and prompt, not just a generic AI response. Also, if anyone wants to jump in at any point, if you want me to cover different things, I'm just kind of trying to show a variety of different ways you can prompt it, all with the intent of like, what is my authentic voice and how can I authentically represent myself? So 25 Instagram reels, high signal, soul first. Rock bottom and solid ground. Nobody teaches you how to be an adult. You don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. So it takes the 25 reels, it's put it into five different categories, I assume, and it's taking it and it's obviously making things up. But the more that you prompt it, the more that you can cater this to different things. And what's been absolutely incredible that I realized literally like I'm learning as much as you are all the time on this. Yesterday I had a prompt like this and it gave me 21 links and like 50 images. And so let's see if that will work here. So I would like deep research on these 25 different topics, all with high leverage information that will make my $1 million success and moving out of my parents' basement inevitable. Give it a second to think here. So as we go through this next prompt, you'll see it'll have sources kind of in here, and then at the end, it'll have all of the links. So let's see if it will do that or if it's going to make a liar out of me. So let's see what we got here. Just waiting for the links here. Okay, I'm gonna prompt it again because it's not quite giving me what I want. Um, let's see. Sometimes it takes a minute to think here. Please. And ChatGPT, be better. Why are the links not working? Now, this is a funny thing I find too. So sometimes people prompt it one time, it doesn't work, and they're like, well, shouldn't it work every time? And like you need to be patient with it too, because it's crazy to think like I get asked all the time, can ChatGPT do this? Can ChatGPT do that? And my answer is always not yet. But eventually it will be able to. Like I have used it consistently for months now, and every time I use it, it's always up leveling. It's always having new different things, and so it's quite fascinating. See, here we are. We have the sources down here. You click into the sources, and these are all sources that have been sourced from the internet based on my prompt. That we can now go deeper into the research on these. So let's just pick a random one. Um, Using a new approach to building your personal brand. So what we're going to do, we have this link. We're going to take it, we're going to copy it, paste it into here. And by simply doing that, it will give you a summary of it. Do we have any questions in the meantime? I'm just kind of rambling on, and I want this to be useful to you as well. So please jump in with anything you might have.
Sam, I'm going to jump in first. I One thing is the drop down the different platforms, the options, like there's 4.40 and 3.0
Mhm.
and when do you use what for when?
Yeah, so these are different uses. So some of them are more research oriented, some of them are more creatively prompted. There's so many things within ChatGPT I haven't really uncovered yet. Let's see. My internet is not loving the use of it right now. But if you have ChatGPT, I believe there's 4.0, there's 3.0. So here it gives you a brief overview of it now. So great for most tasks, uses advanced reasoning, fastest at advanced reasoning, great at coding and visual reasoning. It can make, I find the art on ChatGPT is not as good as like a meta AI type thing. But it's still inevitably eventually ChatGPT will be able to make really high quality videos. And they're already exploring those types of things with like a Sora AI and different. They're always expanding it all the time. So let's see.
Okay.
ChatGPT is here. We are. So yeah, Sora is the video one. So I still don't find this one as great yet, but these are all. I mean, we can try it. So I am in a entrepreneur call, and we want to create a sample image on how to talk to chat GPT. I never use this feature, so this is new to me too. Um,
So this, can you just, okay, Sora is still Chat GPT. It's
it
just
still
in,
is, yeah. So most people just use ChatGPT for the search bar, but there's so many custom GPTs that people have made. It's let's see, it's making 2 images now. We can come back to those later. I'll stay within the chat though, just to kind of keep things moving here. Let's see, how do I get out of here? Okay. Okay, so from simply putting the link in here, it gave me all of these images that gave you a summary. So clicking in here, like personal branding, 10 steps towards a professional you, it made all of these pictures itself. Like I had no idea literally till yesterday it did this. But look at like how to create a personal branding strategy, step-by-step guide. So like the necessity to be in Canva making your own stuff, like AI will do it all for you. Obviously, there's more customizability when you do it yourself. Um, but through that, it gave us pictures, it gave us the article, it gave us the key takeaways. And now, what you can do is you can take these specific takeaways and be like, Now apply what we've learned to the broader context of my own aspirations and goal of getting out of my parents' basement. Great. So now, because I've prompted it so much, it's giving me specific things like, okay, great. Based on this one article, here is how we're going to get you off the ground, basically. And so this kind of leads into the third point I had within prompting. So, what actionable steps can we take? So, it kind of is like, okay, I know who you are. You're 25, new business owner, don't know what you're doing, but want to make money doing your own business. What is the path that we want to do? If I'm 95 looking back, what does that look like? And now that we have that vision, what steps can we take to make that happen? And so if you go back into ChatGPT, it's taken what we, oh, this is the other one. Um, Here, just a second here. But it's taken that prompt and it's given me like very specific long-term vision. Why the hell do you want out? This isn't just about rent money; it's about freedom. But ChatGPT, that why I prefer it to a search thing like a Google, for instance, is Google will give you uh, the articles and you can kind of do your own research. ChatGPT will take your situation and apply it into those articles and apply it into that. So that's where I find it extremely interesting. Now, what I would want to say is this is all great, but this language feels more like an AI generated response than an authentic response that I would use. Include a laid back 25-year-old Gen Z way of writing that represents this generation accurately and succinctly. Always more is better within the prompts, which is why, again, I advocate for speech to text. Let's see, I think we have to reload it again. Okay. So we want it to sound like someone trying to figure life out without sounding like a walking TED talk. And you can see the language. We've gone from Shakespearean to kind of generic AI back to more authentically me. What I actually like to do is take, if like all of you at the top of the hour had mentioned having your own blog post that you write, I would recommend taking those blog posts specifically or taking things that you've written and actually putting them full prompt into here. You can copy paste tons of stuff. And the workaround, if you have like a full book, for instance, is you can just upload the PDF of the book into here and it will be able to read your entire book and give you a response. There are limitations on how many words you can put in the box, but if you have a PDF, it just kind of is a workaround on that. Um,
Sam, can you also put links to online articles you've written and it'll reference the read it that way?
yeah, I mean, I work with a company called Champion PSI. So if you go championpsi.com/blog. So let's see. So these are all blogs that I've written with ChatGPT, and how I do it is I have access to how Ken writes. So I'll actually just show you this. This will be so if you go into here, there's projects at the top. So CPSI blogs. These are all of the different blogs that I have. So let's just say business growth coaching is one of the. So what we would do is business growth coaching. keyword. And because I'll show you in a second here, so let's start with 10 optimized titles. I have created a blog creation post um, file. Let's see if I will have access. I don't know. I'm on a different computer today, so I don't have access to it. But what it's an 8-page document that is basically has the steps for ChatGPT. And as I go through it, I can write blog posts in like 25 minutes. So last time when Desmond was presenting, I had done like 2 blog posts during the duration of the call just through the synthesized process. So that's where someone like an AI expert or different consultants in the space, or even just teaching ChatGPT yourself, you can learn how to use specific blog creation processes, or you can do email newsletters, or you can do it for anything. And eventually, the goal is to get you out of your Excel files, get you out of there, and get you back into um, being around people, being around others. Like I hear so many narratives around people moving more and more away from humanity because of technology. But my belief, I'll actually just stop sharing my screen here. Um, let's see.
So, Sammy, I've got a question for you.
Yeah, please.
Do you want to show us what you're going to show us first?
No, you go ahead.
So, just to dig deeper in what you said, so you've got a document that captures the essence of how the gentleman Ken speaks, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you've got a series of prompts. So maybe can you just trans translate that a little bit more? So give us the document that captures how Ken speaks. What is that? Is that just 10 articles he wrote himself that shows his style? So
Yeah.
that's the first question. And then the second question is, and then what are the sort of prompts? What is? I know you can't show us it right now, and that's maybe good anyway. But is it just saying, hey, so let's pretend I'm Ken, but I want to talk about this aspect of business ownership or whatever he would not, whatever he's told you he wants to have an article on, and you just combine the knowledge of the internet or the Chat GPT with his historic writing style. Is that what you're describing there?
Yeah. So what I did, so he's currently writing a book. And so I took a piece of his prose, and I'll share my screen again so you can see. Um, okay. So I took his book, I copied it into a Google Doc. So what we can do is we can go download this. So I tend to prefer PDF. I don't think it really matters. PDF is just always the safer way, it seems. Um, so let's just go back into here. So um, this is the voice of my mentor, but I love his writing style. Can you please use his voice as your own going forward? But make it sound like a 25-year-old version of him. And so in here, this is the intro to his book. And I literally just copy pasted into here. And then his language will be, it's very laid back, very storytelling oriented. And it's reading the documents now. Got it. Ken's voice, but through your lens, still in the thick of it. A little more hoodie, a little less hardcover, still thoughtful, still honest. Um, Write me a 10-year business plan with this voice and vision intact. The basement blueprint. So it's already very catered to how I have prompted it. Um, yeah, did that answer your question, Desmond?
Yes.
Cool. Um, yeah, I think we could honestly turn to questions, but anyone else have anything pressing. I'll stop sharing.
No, Sam, I was just wondering if you can keep your screen sharing and
Oh,
show us the
sure.
difference between, when you create a chat GPT and your ability to share it with other people to have that shared knowledge in a collaborative way.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Yeah, so if you go to the sidebar
Yeah.
and you were showcasing projects, but you can actually create different GPTs, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And have you done or used those? Created them? Or
I
do you
I
just do
have
this
I
project?
have really been using the chat space mainly.
Okay.
But there is my closest thing I've done. I Again, I don't have access to it on this computer, but I have like an 8-page blog creation process. Um, and that's been really helpful for me. So, but I am currently enrolled in a program called the CAIO, so it's a Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer program, and they show you like it gets very sciencey, very computer nerd, very fast. But you can create custom GPTs, and you can see some of those GPTs. So in here, you have library, you have video AI, you have Monday, which is kind of a I'll show you Monday real quick, actually. It's kind of sarcastic. Hey, how do I talk to you? It'll probably be like, oh, you don't know how to talk to me? Like, what's wrong with you? You're doing it. Text goes in the box. Oh, okay. Made a liar out of me. My little Shakespeare in sweatpants. You're the tragedy because I don't know how to talk to you.
So what is Monday? What is this?
It's meant to be a sarcastic kind of witty chat. It's not supposed to be as reflective. It has more of a personality.
Ah,
Um, so they're exploring more with that. Now, if you go into explore GPTs, so I haven't done too much digging in here to be honest. So this is kind of new to me too. But let's see. So, is anything jumping out here? Let's full SEO optimized article, including FAQs. Start chat. Web search ratings. Write me an article for.
and while you're doing that, we have 10 minutes left.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna open it up to anyone else, comments or major questions we wanna get Sam to answer today. He's coming back for more. So if we don't get them
I
answered
hope this was
today.
useful because again, it's funny. I've gone from like someone who has been like, oh, who am I to help people to like, oh, you're 25 and this is technology that I don't understand. Like you're an expert. So here I am, expert in all. But yeah, any questions? I'd love to hear it.
Sammy, so first question, you said you jumped in here. What is a chat GPT? What is a GBT? So I don't know what GPT is. So, but let me try and tell you what I think it is from what you said. Um, Someone has taken this chat GPT, brain, and they have done some programming or done something to give it a bit of a personality or a set of skills, and
Mhm.
then they launch it as a product. Is that what a GPT is?
A GPT is just a language processing model. So it's just a way that you can use ChatGPT, and makes very specific catered based on the instructions and how you design it. Like the one that we had just used, just wrote an entire blog post in 2 seconds.
Okay, so is that what I just said? I thought it was. So someone's taking the power of that brain, the ultimate knowledge it has, and just given it a specialization. Is that and called it a product? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, like you can. It's crazy how much people can sell these things for. But if you make a custom GPT that helps you write blog posts or helps you do your email marketing or helps you do whatever it does, if you fully outsource that from different companies, people can pay for like quite a bit of money for that. And so GPTs is just specific kind of, you're kind of playing around with the insides of the prompting so that you get more catered responses, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's what I thought. Okay.
Cool. Anybody else have some questions? Sam, maybe while we're thinking, is there anything that we shouldn't do or say or things to avoid when talking to ChatGPT?
Just don't be inauthentic. Like, I'm gonna say it till I get blue in the face, but like, it should be a representation of you. And so I'll give you a specific example. So I was in this language class about like the word structures, and it was getting into the weeds of just content I just did not like at all. Like, it was not interesting. And so I'm a big fan of the author Mark Manson. He's very crude. He wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Like, he's awesome. And so I took the chat and I said, I want you to teach me how to use ChatGPT as if, or I want you to teach me how to do this project as if, like, using your voice, keep it fun, keep it entertaining. And it was able to make studying more fun. And so ChatGPT can be used for genuinely anything. Like, I had a debate with my friends. Could a human beat a gorilla in a fight? How many humans would it take? And ChatGPT hypothetically meets you where you're at, and very much went into like great detail with that. So what not to do is to be too careful with how you prompt it. That's why I think verbal processing and using your voice is one of the best things you can do. So on your phone, there is a little microphone button near the chat box. If you click that, it will do speech to text, and then you can just kind of have a conversation with it.
Okay. Cool.
Anyone else?
It's a lot to take in. Thanks for
It
giving us
is.
the basics.
Yeah,
Did you
it's like I don't know what to cover because there's so much you can go into. I think
Yeah.
generally speaking, people's use of it can be kind of generic, but it should be very much specific to how your voice is, or how your brand voice is, or different things like that. Dorothy, did you have a question?
I do. For those of you, yourself included, Sammy, that are using this fully SEO optimized article writing, do you find that that's pretty effective? Like, it really maintains the integrity of the voice while giving it the necessary, I guess, enhancements?
I would say it works because I've worked with it enough to, like, I have multiple different, it's not just like, hey, write this keyword and it's all good. You need to do a few things on the back end. So it still takes time. And I think with more prompting, you can make it automatically write them. But I'd
Does
say
it guide you through that, or do you have to know what to do on the back end?
you kind of have to know what to do on the back end a little bit more. And I'd be happy to show you my process on, another call or something. But I also, maybe this is just a different way of thinking. Like, do people still read blog articles and stuff? It seems to be kind of like reading books. Like, I don't know, I love reading books, but I can't think of the last time I picked up a book. So um, yeah, that's my answer to that. Is it's completely changing how we do things. That there's a lot of people who are like, well, no, I don't want AI to write for me. I want to write myself. But it's becoming more common than not for people just to use ChatGPT. And that's why I'm so particular about being authentic in your voice, because otherwise it'll just sound, you read enough ChatGPT that it does have a voice that it uses. And if you don't adjust it, it just doesn't feel like, people can see through it pretty quickly. But there's ways that you can write with it now that, like, universities now have to all allow students to use ChatGPT, because it's gotten to the point where you can't tell if it's a human or AI that has written it. And it's just going to continue to get more and more down that path, which is crazy.
Cool. Marlene, did you have a question?
Yeah, I've got two questions. The first question was, I when you mentioned the SEO, and so I thought, if when I'm having chat kind of retweet the content on my website, can I ask it to kind of enrich the SEO, uh, I guess, effectiveness, if you will? And the second question is, like, I'm using this for free. Like, who's paying for all of this?
I am. Yeah, it's huge. It's worth paying for me anyway.
Yeah, like I don't know, Marlene, if to answer your first question with SEO, sorry, could you restate the question? Is there
Well, I'm putting all my website content into SEO and asking it to, to polish it, to tweak it, to update it, and can I say specifically, can I, and make it more SEO searchable, or something to that effect while I'm at all this upgrading?
the best answer I could give you is ask it what it would say.
Oh,
Because that's what the program has really taught me is like
okay.
in AI. So like I'm very when I ask questions, and this is not a knock on you, but it's a new way of thinking. If
Yeah.
I can get the answer with ChatGPT, or if it's like a hey, how do I do this? Like it knows the answers that I don't know. Like I don't know. I know very little. ChatGPT knows everything. But
Okay,
if
good
you
point.
learn how to have a relationship with it, or you learn how to use it in a way that gets you what you want, you can know how to do anything. It just takes a little
Okay.
bit of practice.
Also,
Yeah.
Marlene, your screenshots come to play when I'm using the free version too. So whenever I hit a roadblock and it stops answering and it just gives me the redundant answers, so I just take screenshots of what I needed to do. So I'll give it more information. So for example, if you're working on your SEO, go on your analytics or Google Search Console, and in the section that you have keywords, see if you can give it a good screenshot of your most recent data, and then ask it to read that data, because it does that. And
That's
that's
good, yeah.
usually how I get answers out of it.
Thank you.
And Laura, you had a very interesting thing in here. You said at 1027, it misses things if you start developing a large, complex project. Completely. That's where ChatGPT, it's very good at doing tasks, but it's very it eventually will get to a point when it can do complete projects with like AI agents and things that people fear will take over their jobs. But for the time being, it's very much like I need this specific thing done. Therefore, I'm going to use ChatGPT to help me do that one specific thing. And
Yeah.
it can kind of get lost in the shuffle if you try to get it to do too much at once, but it's getting better and better every time.
Yeah, I find it's great as an assistant, but when it comes up to the strategic level that you're used to thinking when you've been doing it a long time, it kind of tries and then it misses it. But it pretends it's doing a really good job. It's like, yeah, you missed this. Oh, you're being very strategic. And I'm thinking, so yeah, as a junior person, as an assistant, the role is really good and it needs very specific instructions.
Yeah.
And it's always learning. And so to your point, Marlene, about SEO it's totally different. Everything we knew about SEO before and our best practices have like changed. So be really careful when you're thinking of things, and just knowing it's going to be this constant learning, because people are going to ChatGPT now. They're not going to Google. And now there's content out there that is, being recirculated. Is it hallucinating? And it's looking for unique content. Well, if we're creating AI and we're not unique and making sure it's branded, like there's just the whole world of SEO has changed. It's going to be
Thank you.
interesting. Yeah.
Who knew, right?
Yeah, it's
And I wonder how much SEO will actually be a thing in the future. Like
yeah.
it's been a thing because people have used Google and people still use Google, but even still, if you look up Google, the first thing it says is AI overview. They're all going towards AI. And so I know I can't speak for other people, but if it's like if I look up a question on Google, I look at the first answer it gives me. And if the first answer is no longer an article, then I don't really feel a need to do any more digging. I can take that response, go copy paste it, put it into ChatGPT, and it can give me 20 articles based on that. So if any of you know how to crack the code as to how to get ranking in ChatGPT, because I was in preparation for this, I was like prompting it with Laura, like with you and stuff, and it would like find photos of you on the internet and put it in my chat. So it's like very much becoming a thing. Like if you don't want your information in these things, it's trained all day to read it. And so I personally am more on the side of like, you can know anything you want about me. Like I don't really care, but some people who want more privacy and stuff, like that would be a caution I would have, is like, be careful what you use it for, because it does have a memory that it knows everything. And so yeah, I don't know if I would be putting in banking information or that sort of thing. but
Oh,
you
no,
can,
no, no.
but you can also prompt it like, okay, hypothetically, this is the thing. But still, I would be cautious with what information you give it, because it doesn't care. Like its job is to read the information and give you what you want back. And so just be careful about how much you actually do give it too.
That's a really good point. And from the search piece, make it as unique as possible because it's looking for unique stuff. So even if you use ChatGPT for a framework, make sure you add your uniqueness to it so that it's not just copy and paste. Because I'll tell you, the other thing I do is I take it and I throw it into Grammarly. So I pay for Grammarly, and it fixes so many grammar problems and punctuation problems because ChatGPT is not great at that. Grammarly is actually better. So I drop it into that afterwards. So uniqueness and getting first to the gate with content. So that's what something to keep in mind. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marlene. Thanks, Sam. And next week, you are back with the next level of AI. So if you guys haven't registered or you want to be just added, just send me interest and I'll just add you to the calendar link.